As a 3PL owner, I can't tell you what something that's more infuriating than one of our e-commerce brands is like, oh yeah, we added all these products. They'll arrive like tomorrow, by the way. I need to add like a $500 penalty every time they do that. Actually, even sometimes they'll just like randomly change the SKU. I think, why did you change the SKU? Because SKUs are they're like the connectors to everything.
Yes.
And if you change the SKU, it breaks the entire system.
All right, welcome to Ops Unfiltered. Our special guest today is Devin Barker. What's up, Devin? How's it going, man?
Going good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So Devin is the founder of a 3PL, one of the clients of Luminous. It's Revamp Fulfillment. So can you give us a quick intro on your background? How did you get into the 3PL business, and how did our paths intertwine? I'm sure we're going to dive into that a little bit more.
How about I start with the infamous Jared Ward and how we intertwined?
All right, let's do that.
So we started out, we served Mormon missions in Hong Kong, China.
Mormon missions?
And the Church of Jesus Christ of
That was
Latter-day
Illuminati
Saints.
missions.
Jehovah's Witness, Illuminati, Catholic, Mormon,
That's right.
all included. We spent some time speaking Chinese together, so we could just switch this podcast to Chinese.
We could.
Hom ho.
Ha.
Except for you know Mandarin too well now.
Yeah, my Mandarin's better than my Cantonese at this point. But when I go back to Hong Kong,
Yeah.
it just
comes right back.
It comes right back. Literally, like after 2 days, it's just like back to normal.
So I just went to Hong Kong and it literally did not come back. Some people have gifts, some people don't.
It's the haircut. You got to cut your hair with like those thinning shears that they do in Hong Kong.
Let's give a little
Chinese
backstory
haircut.
of Jared Ward. All right, here's a good story real quick. Jared kept saying, Devin or Elder Barker, you need to get a haircut. You look awful. I was like, all right. So we go to the Chinese barber and they get these thinning scissors and they just start going at me.
Okay, so that's common with Asian haircuts. They have these. I know we have thinning shears here in America, but they have like crazy thinning shears. Like
the whole entire haircut is thinning shears.
They cut your hair so thin that you can just like do whatever you want with it, like with the gel, because you have like crazy.
And then it becomes like wispy, like a newborn baby.
So as a white boy with those thinning shears, you literally look like a maniac. And
that's what I looked like.
You did look like a maniac. But I remember we did that haircut, and you were like, just one thing, like, don't let them use those thinning shears. And I was getting a haircut.
Sitting on the side laughing.
I was sitting on the side, and the haircutter starts bringing out those thinning shears, and in bad, because at the time this was like your second. You're like, when I saw you trying to like tell him don't use those scissors, I was just dying laughing.
Help me!
And he just went
Chinese.
to town.
In full disclosure, I was the brand new missionary. Jared was the almost going home. His Chinese was fabulous. And then put that on top of I wasn't caught up with the style, so I had like these parachute pants that I was wearing.
Oh yeah.
I like to think that my wife gave me a makeover, so I'm doing better.
Oh, dude, you're looking great.
Thank you.
You're looking great nowadays. I still remember, this is like burned into my head. After that haircut, we got back to the apartment, and you jumped in front of me, and you messed up your hair, and you're like, let's go.
You know, that was probably the only moment during that time we were together that I was happy. I was so miserable. 9 straight weeks. Things turned around. It got better though, but big part in the U. We had a lot more fun.
Yeah, that was a blast. Okay, so how does that parlay into your experience with ops at like e-commerce companies?
Yeah,
I know you got
so,
back and you did a bunch of things. You went to Mission Belt, eventually you started your own 3PL.
Yeah. So it actually started before Mission Belt. I worked for a company called Circus Tricks. They own trampoline parks all over the world. I think they have 400, 500 plus. They own another big brand is Sky Zone. They own that. I went to work for them. I got a degree in marketing, so I worked for Circus Tricks in that area, and we had a promotion where we were going to give out free socks for any gift card that was purchased. And so talking with my boss, we both said, hey, if we could ship this out, if we had some kind of shippable e-commerce product, we would do a lot better with this campaign. So I was a campaign manager. I was in charge of finding some 3PL. Because of some of the aspects of the campaign, it made it much more difficult to actually find a 3PL that would bring us on. But I knew we would be doing 200-300 orders a day. And so it was basically talking to my father just about this whole thing, trying to find a solution. And we just said, hey, let's try it out. So we set up our basement. We figured everything out, found some program called ShipStation.
Oh,
somehow
never
connected
heard of
it.
7 ShipStation accounts later.
Yeah, I know, right? Somehow connected a big commerce site. And with me, when we talk about skills, and this has kind of led my whole entire career, if I had some kind of superpower, it's how to figure stuff out. To know that I have a problem, I need to just research how to figure it out or just even tinker with it until it works. And so it was kind of up my alleyway. We had an e-commerce store. We had ShipStation. We bought some labels. We set it all up, had the product at our house, and we got that going. And that was the start of 3PL.
Nice.
I had some agreement with my parents. I said, I don't want there to be a conflict of interest. So you guys keep all the money. And then gave me some nice Christmas presents.
Oh man!
And that was the start. So from there, we had some different stops that helped me learn more, and maybe that's what you're kind of asking about Mission Belt.
Yeah. Okay. So just to recap, that was your first client.
Still a client.
Oh, they're still a client. No way.
Still are. This is the first year they're not really doing anything, but hey, they pay us for storage.
So a business like, we need storage, we need you to do this. It's like, oh, well, we could do it.
Yeah.
And then starting it out, it was setting up a ShipStation account, setting up or you just use the carrier rates on ShipStation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
So what? No negotiation
And
there?
it was
Carrier
USPS first class we used. And honestly, at that moment, everything was brand new. We understood the concept of shipping. We understood the concept of e-commerce and stuff, but even it was 7 years ago now. And the idea of being able to set all that stuff up yourself and just ship it out, even right now, that's a pretty foreign concept to everybody. People don't realize like how easy it is now.
Yeah.
Being able to ship out your product is not a hard thing to accomplish.
I say this all the time, but e-commerce always attracts a certain type of individual. It's the people who can just dive in and figure stuff out. Mm-hmm. So what has been the most difficult thing about setting up a 3PL for you? I know we're going to dive into like a bunch of different lessons that you've learned along the way, but if you had to say the number one most difficult thing in your early days, what has it been?
The 3PL industry is really interesting right now. It's getting harder and harder to get into the industry. And the reason I say that is because you need some capital just to get a warehouse. And if you don't have a warehouse, maybe you can convince people to let you fulfill from your basement, which we have at times. And we could probably we can get more into that because that's really our bootstrap mentality. We've done this whole entire thing with never taking investments or loans or help from anybody else. And a lot of people would say like, well, you're dumb for doing that. But you know what? Everyone has stomachs for different things.
Yeah.
And I have a stomach for being risky in starting a business, but I'm still not to the point where I can put my house up, getting a HELOC or something and possibly losing my house.
Yeah.
And I'm building more of that, that stomach, I guess, as I was saying, and we'll get there, later. But as far as being more willing to man, I can't speak.
It's all good. So
This is that first moment. I'll start over.
okay.
So everyone can take different levels of risk. I'm not a super high risk level taker, so I like to bootstrap things, and I'm totally fine with that. And we figured out how to bootstrap this whole entire 3PL business from our basement, and then also figuring out places where we can sublease for super cheap to be able to build.
One of the reasons why I have you on is you've been able to successfully scale a small 3PL where it's I don't want to say lifestyle business because like it's super hard work, but you're unapologetically a small medium-sized 3PL that makes decent money. Like it's you and your wife's income, and you guys do well. And I think it's because how you're so unapologetic about where you're at. It's not smoke and mirrors. Like here at my massive warehouse. Like walk me through that, because you attracted clients early on. I know there was a social media strategy there, or it was actually just Google. It was a Google strategy, Google Maps, and just like having reviews on Google, which a lot of 3PLs they overlook that. Yeah. And then on top, like after that, walk me through the strategy on slowly growing and why you chose to start in your basement and in your garage and slowly get to an actual warehouse.
Yeah, for sure. So the other aspect of trying to grow a 3PL and actually attract clients is you got to give them good rates and like pick, pack, and ship rates, and then also shipping rates. And that's the other side that's really hard to attract before you have large volume. So starting out as a small 3PL, we got to figure out, say, okay, we don't have a lot of space. We don't have super attractive rates, and nobody really knows about us. So step one is we can build a website, and at least people can look us up. And then also we can do a Google listing, because oftentimes, say in Salt Lake or Utah County, if you're looking for something, if you're actually looking for a 3PL and you want it close to your office, you're going to search 3PL near me. And what's going to pop up? It's going to pop up all the 3PLs in Utah County. And luckily for us, in Orem and Provo, there's not really any 3PLs.
On Google Maps.
On Google Maps, at least, right? Yeah. And so we recognize, okay, that's cool. Then also in all of Utah, nobody really has reviews. They just don't think that's a thing. And so it's sweet. So cool. Okay. There's a lot of people that we work with in the industry. We're not just going to talk to just every random person on the street and give us a review. But obviously there's people we've worked with. And,
so how many leads do you think have come in just through having a presence on Google? Like
at least 95%. What? Just Google Maps.
That's nuts.
Just Google Maps is at least 95%. We've done a lot of even just advertising and stuff, but and we probably could be more sophisticated with our advertising.
Sure.
But Google Maps has done everything. We're talking to a potential client right now that we're pretty far down the discussion of potentially bringing them on, and they do 500 a day, and their offices are in Linden. So 500 orders a day, we're close by. And then the other thing is when people do actually reach out to us, I pitch, hey, it's a great thing that we're a small 3PL. Because if you're going with a massive 3PL and you're lost with their other 200 clients, they hate it.
Yes.
And customer service is so hard to come by. And they know if they can be working with the top guy in the company, they're going to get changes made so much quicker than say some big 3PL say, okay, we're gonna take a week or 2 weeks to really implement this change. And I can't speak for all 3PLs, but most of our clients have come from other 3PLs. They haven't left us because they love that we take care of them.
I think that's such a good point. First off, tons of lessons there. Like if you're in a crowded industry, there's always a way that you can stand out. You stood out through just having a good Google presence. If somebody Googles you, you pop up and you have good reviews.
And there's no doubt we had to learn what a 3PL was, because we really went into this. I didn't work for a 3PL before. Like I didn't know how these things operated. But when I get on a call now with a potential client, they know that I know what's going on. And so being a novice is much harder having a small 3PL. But now that we've been in it 5-6 years, it's not even an issue. And we don't even talk about warehouse size.
Yeah. How did you evolve to, like, how did you learn that lesson of just being straightforward and like, hey, look, us being small, that's actually to your benefit. How did you learn that? Because I think most people, even in software business, in all types of businesses, sometimes they never learn that, where you have to act like, yeah, we're kind of a big deal, and like everything is smoke and mirrors to make you look bigger than you are. How did you learn that lesson?
I think I have to go back to like junior high or high school, and having, say, like some bad haircut, and someone be like, "Oh, Devin, you look so dumb," and realizing, okay, a lesson of confidence is you just own who you are and you love yourself for it, and people respect you and they want to be a part of it. Sometimes they don't want to be a part of it, but they respect you.
Yeah.
And they can trust you with your opinions. And so it got that way with our business where I quickly realized we just need to own who we are and just be unapologetic about it, because we did figure out from the start how to sublease some space in a warehouse, and we would keep overflow storage there, but we literally fulfill everything from our basement. We are not in our basement anymore, so that's a good step.
Yeah.
in the right direction. But sometimes we tell clients like we have 2 different sites where we'd fulfill, and every time I'd bring it up that, yeah, we have some product. Actually, we'll fulfill in the basement. It's more convenient. They were actually like, yeah, it's cool. It's fine. Product's more safe.
Yeah.
Because like you're always around it. And so they liked it even more.
That's
and
awesome.
and that's how we started it. And it's been good ever since.
That's cool. That's cool. When did the 3PL hit a point where it's like, oh wow, this can actually be a business for me, where you can quit your job?
Yeah.
How long has it been since you like officially quit your job and like this is your main thing?
That's a great question, because it's not been smooth sailing from the start. From the very beginning, we worked with Circus Tricks, and they had their campaign going and it was going well. And then I moved to another job, and this is still part-time 3PL on the side. Moved to another job, Mission Belt, and that's where I learned much more of supply chain side and operations as far as warehouse goes. So I did have some experience there, which was good. But then we were thinking like, hey, we got to dive in. We got to figure something out, how just make this full time. We found a couple clients, weren't really the best clients in the world. It's also something we had to figure out, is what is a good client? Because without knowing what a good client is, you're going to drive your business to the ground.
So I want to hear, give me a story about a client that you took on and it was a bad choice. It was a bad client. You don't have to name the name, but the principle of what happened.
Sure. We brought on a company, the nameless company.
Oh, I love that company.
And it was in the very beginning, and it was the whole idea that if you want to really get going in this industry, you gotta take on whatever you can just to make money, and it's so like dangerous to do that, because you handcuff yourself to this terrible client, and they drag you down, right? So we brought them on, and they had 350 SKUs, and they were all metal fittings that went in like flow control units, and trying to manage 350 SKUs
On ShipStation.
on ShipStation, no warehouse management software. I guess you could kind of consider ShipStation warehouse management, but no, it's
Slightly,
not.
yeah.
And the amount of time that it was taking out of our schedules just to try and fulfill their orders, it sucked. And to give a little bit more insight to that, is you have to restock 350 SKUs. When you receive new inventory, you have to count 350 SKUs. And now we have a client right now that they're doing about 500 a day. They only have 1 SKU. It is beautiful. That is how you build a 3PL.
Yeah.
We eventually were able to shed the clients that we didn't want. We got to a point, we tried to scale a little quicker. We got into some weird real estate warehouse issues where we signed a contract, and then they said, nope, it needs to be a higher rate. If you don't pay it, then come sue us.
Oh man.
And there's another
Good
one
times.
too that even you were involved in at one point, that it was just a tricky scenario, and honestly, warehouse space was going quick.
Yeah.
And so we actually scaled back, and we kind of went back into the basement again. We had another place we were subleasing.
So that was a big lesson for you right there. So was that kind of the turning point where it was like, we're not taking on bad clients, we're not doing any smoke and mirrors, we're not growing faster than we need to. I'm gonna just unapologetically be who we are and be picky with my clients. Was that sort of the...
Yeah, we decided if we're ever going to be successful at what we're doing and make a decent amount of money in this company, we have to be so picky. So picky. And so now we have all these ratios, and I won't give specific, but how much order volume to how many pallets of storage do you have? How many SKUs versus order volume do you have?
Right.
All these different measurements to tell if a client is actually going to be a good one or not. Without those, you just going in blind. It's really hard to know. But if you can stick to what you have determined will make you a successful 3PL, then you'll be fine.
I think this is also a good opportunity for brands to understand, or if we have operators listening, that these are the types of things. Because when you partner with somebody, be it a 3PL or a supply chain company or somebody to do your, to negotiate your rate, I don't know, whatever. It's not always, or like with Luminous for a software company, it's hardly ever like, oh, this company sucks. It's just... It's
I've said that before.
It's not a good fit, and it's just understanding each other's attributes, like who you service, and then the identity of the brand. So I think some takeaways there for me is if you're a brand and you have 700 SKUs and you have complex purchasing and you have to run a bill of materials and you have to assemble things, like, understand that the 3PL quoting you, like, it's complex, and you have to find somebody who specializes in that.
I tell that to a lot of startups when they say, hey, what can I do to join your 3PL? The number one lead I get is from startup businesses that don't have any volume yet. And they just have no idea that, no, there has to be order volume for us to make any money.
Yep.
The storage cost alone is not going to be enough to keep us profitable. But then when people ask me for advice, say like, hey, how do I get into a 3PL? I always just say like, hey, watch out from too many SKUs. The more SKUs you get, 3PLs are going to say, maybe not.
Yeah.
But order volume is king. If you have a ton of order volume, then you'll be able to figure something out.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's been those are total. Those are awesome tidbits, and it's really good advice for anybody who's trying to start a 3PL, and the perspective of the brands and 3PLs and how you work together. I'm curious. I wanted to ask about the evolution of your technology. So I'm a big believer. Obviously, like, this is a big part of the podcast. I always dive into the technology decisions. Mm-hmm. I'm really curious with what decisions you made early on and why. Like, what led you to those? What worked? What didn't? So let's start off when you first started 3PL. You got ShipStation. Why did you get it? And what's your experience on ShipStation so far? What worked and what didn't?
Mm-hmm. So ShipStation, straight up was just a Google search, how to print labels, right? And maybe it was more researching BigCommerce and what connections or partnerships they had. But I started a ShipStation account just to see what would work. And I think the reason I went with ShipStation, I got onto a couple other accounts as well, but ShipStation was the first one where I figured out how to connect the store and press print, and labels started coming out. And if any e-commerce or 3PL owner, if they've tried this, they know the first time labels start printing out, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so great.
So in tech, it's called an aha moment, or it's time to value, and like those are actual KPIs. It's something I always say about ShipStation, and why I recommend ShipStation for for a lot of e-commerce companies. So many people in tech or like, who are really arrogant about like their tech decisions. They always shit on ShipStation.
Yeah,
Like,
I do.
Dude, it sucks. ShipStation, man, it's so slow. And it's like, okay, what do you use ShipStation for? You go in, link your channels, print out a label. It can do more than that, but like I always say that like ShipStation has been the behemoth and the market leader for a reason. You can go in, link up your channels, and get the value of aggregating order data from multiple channels and printing out a shipping label. It's like, oh yes, this works. Aha.
Yeah.
So where did ShipStation start breaking as a tool for you?
The area that started breaking the most was inventory management, warehouse management. And they, maybe by design, they don't make it any better, but the only thing it can really do is here's your product and here's how much inventory you have. Yep. And yeah, they've added a couple more features, but there's a lot of different areas from we need to bundle certain products. We need to know how to handle certain discounts. We need to be able to attach a value to this product. We need to just a whole lot of little nitty gritty things. And I've seen ShipStation try to address it in certain ways. But that's not what they do. They print out labels. Yeah. That's, in my opinion, that's what they do. And they do a pretty good job at it. And they do it for a cheap price too.
The thing is, that makes sense though, because I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of consolidations in the tech industry for shipping technology. So Octane, they acquired ShipStation, and they acquired all of these shipping platforms. So that's typically what happens when somebody gets acquired. Their roadmap stalls. Like, I mean, it doesn't stall. Like they're trying to work on it, but they lose the touch of like somebody who's like in the warehouse and like really developing the product.
And I think that's what you see with a lot of companies that get acquired. That next step, they're just trying to sell the company again. Yeah. To gain a profit, And so that long roadmap of making this the absolute best product it could ever be, it just gets, there's a huge red light and everyone stops. Yep. And they do try to, add small features here and there, but it doesn't really become or reach its potential.
Yeah. So, okay, that's interesting. So you started out ShipStation, they offered you rates. You're able to print out a shipping label, get the orders coming through. As your inventory management needs started to grow, that's when it was like, oh, I need to look somewhere else. What systems did you look at when you're starting to branch out into inventory management? Obviously, spoiler alert, he uses Luminous. I'm not trying to like be all mysterious and but yeah, so like what did you run a process? Did you look at a couple different ones? What did you find?
We tried. I love any company that will give a free trial, because the main reason why is I just need to know if it's good enough for our operation. And many times you'll see on these websites, they'll show like comparisons, if you get the basic plan or the pro plan or the enterprise plan, and here's all like the different features that you can have. I'm actually a guy who doesn't like to get on a phone call or on a Zoom meeting and like walk through a product. Like, please no. And I'm so grateful there are people who do enjoy that. But that if I ever see like a Zoom meeting, I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to. I just want to be able to figure it out on my own. Yeah. That's what we did with your product, which I'm really grateful. I said, I just want to dive in. If I have any questions, I'll let you know. And so we started doing that with a few different products. There's I want to say like SKU Vault, 3PL Central was another one that we looked at. And there's just from different price points or flexibility connections.
3PL Central, now Extensive, by the way, another person who got acquired, and the roadmap is going to stall. And
they got acquired by
Extensive, I think.
Extensive, okay, yeah, because they were connected to. Anyways, but so I knew that you were doing something with inventory, and I reached out to you, and I basically said, hey, this is what we have. Can you help out? And he probably smiled at me and said, "Oh yeah."
I think what were the main things that you're like, okay, I need it? Because I remember you had a list of like 3 or 4. It's like, I needed to do this. It was like an inventory portal, like link up with multiple ShipStation accounts, and just like basic inventory management that you can like grow into.
Yeah.
Like, what were the things? Was that it?
Well, the biggest thing that we were concerned about is we want to be a 3PL that has full transparency to our customers. So we want them to be able to see at all times where their inventory is at. Now, a lot of people think, oh, it's not too bad. That's pretty simple. But when you start to grow and you have more and more clients and they all want to see the inventory, then all of a sudden you don't have a portal for every individual client. You're not going to let one client see your inventory for all your different clients. Yeah. That starts to become, confidentiality issues almost within business, right? And so we had to I think that was number one, we had to get a portal for these clients where they could understand where their inventory levels are. And we didn't have to continue to like email them once a week saying, here's your inventory levels. That's just an extra process that we didn't want to do. And to be quite honest, everything that we have been doing is all about improving efficiency. Because if you don't run an efficient 3PL, your life is going to suck. It's going to be terrible. But if you can run a super efficient 3PL, your operation is just unbelievably tight. You're gonna feel great. And if you have clients that have low SKUs, high order volume, it's going to be such an easier business to run. And so when it comes to a WMS, talking about like Luminous and stuff, that just took out additional steps that we didn't need to do. And that gave me extra time to go home and spend with my family, right?
That's awesome.
Just less time I had to stay at work.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things that we inadvertently built into Luminous is, so we're big fans of order management systems in the market. We think you can integrate with channels and print out labels really well. So one of the good things about Luminous is you can link up multiple ShipStation accounts, which is why we're a good fit for smaller 3PLs, because that's normally the path for 3PLs, like one ShipStation account. And then as soon as they get another client who needs to track billing separately or separate rates, like another ShipStation account. And like they want to be able to keep
when you're talking about like 10 ShipStation accounts, we've been there. I get it. And then all of a sudden you're looking and you're like, oh man, we're paying like how much money for 10 ShipStation accounts? Let's consolidate.
So for us, like we allow 3PLs you can link up multiple ShipStation accounts and slowly get it down to one, or just go straight onto Luminous, or not. And then for inventory, as you know, like you can go as complex or as simple as you want. Like I think, do you have it on auto deduction right now, where everything just automatically deducts when it's marked as shipped?
Yeah, I think so. We the purgatory function we love, and maybe you can explain purgatory, what that's all about.
Well, it cleans the data. It makes sure. So for brands or 3PLs, when an order comes in, a big issue is if, say you had a sale and you added a new SKU on Shopify, but you didn't communicate that to your WMS or to your 3PL. It's coming through like mismatched, and that's a big issue. So Purgatory it catches those types of errors and makes sure that everything is mapped and clean.
As a 3PL owner, I can't tell you something that's more infuriating than one of our e-commerce brands is like, oh yeah, we added all these products. They'll arrive like tomorrow, by the way. I need to add like a $500 penalty every time they do that. But because of that, actually, even sometimes they'll just like randomly change the SKU. I think, why did you change the SKU? Because SKUs are they're like the connectors to everything. Yes. And if you change a SKU, it breaks the entire system. And so Purgatory allows us to make sure, something's been changed. As long as we're checking that frequently, our systems won't break.
Have you seen our new channel mappings page, where it compiles all of the SKUs of the channels you're mapped to, or that you're connected to, and it shows you if something's mismatched? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that.
It's a new one. So we're building out tons of features to solve that, though. So that's the first one. And you can automatically generate a SKU, and it auto-populates everything from Shopify or from the channel. But eventually we're going to get to the point where you can like bulk pull it. If a client does tell you that, the next feature is like you can find all of those in Luminous and you can just bulk create all of the SKUs. So like,
so then you pay some boy to egg their house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's the future of Revamped? What are you guys, what are you hoping for?
We're really excited. So we kind of like you talked about.
Sorry, one second. Okay. Oh, we'll have to wrap this up in the next like 4 minutes.
Okay.
So I think that's a good question to wrap it up.
Yeah. I'm so tired. It's been such a long day. We shipped out a new record yesterday, 3,600 orders.
Dude, that's sick.
It was a good day.
Oh, I gotta tell Brendan. Sorry, we're going to a jazz game with a VC.
Oh, that's awesome. I gotta take you to jazz game. We have in-laws. They have some pretty good tickets.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So what's next for Revamped? What are you guys doing? What's the goal?
So what you talked about, we were very patient, unapologetic how we started, right? And it took us a while to figure out, like, build our foundation, understand who we're looking for, and then also try to just gather some capital. And honestly, it's really just saving up our own bank account to be to a spot where now we have this awesome foundation that next year is really the year of major growth.
That's
and we're
awesome.
really excited about it. We finally got to a point, where we're shipping, most we've done is a few thousand orders on a Monday, and anybody that understands shipping knows that's like the weekend added up together, right?
Yeah.
But it just allows us to, going into next year, okay, now we can put our foot on the gas and just blow up. And 3PL is how you grow, is you fill up your warehouse and then just go get another one.
Yeah.
And just build another one. And so we just finally feel like we have this amazing foundation just to be able to get higher and higher volume. And I think I'll be happy once we're consistently at 5,000 orders a day.
That's
and then once
awesome.
I'm satisfied with that, we'll go to 10,000.
Nice. Well, I'm really happy that you're one of our clients at Luminous, and like I always tell you, I'm really happy that you can, as you grow, you can start using more of the system. Like you can use the pick and pack, and maybe one day we can have your billing automated and expand all those features. So that'll be really fun. Yeah. Okay, this will be the last one. So where can everybody find you? Do you guys have social media or on Google Maps?
Google Maps.
Yeah.
3PL near me. The easiest way is to search Revamp Fulfillment, and you'll find us on Google. We'll just have some easy ways to contact us, and we go over pricing with you. Reach out to us, and yeah, hopefully we can figure something out.
Yeah, and we'll be recommending any of our clients who want a 3PL, just because I know you're a super trustworthy guy.
And that's the
you
last
do
thing
things
that
the
I'll
right
say.
way.
The customer, we are so client focused. And that's where a lot of people go wrong with finding a 3PL, is they're not client focused and they just don't get taken care of well enough. And so that's what we decided from early on. We just have to be client focused and love them and not ignore them and always stay ahead of problems. Because if you do that, they'll love you.
Nice. Yeah. Well, as always, Devin, it's great catching up with you, and we'll chat later. Peace.